A dad and his boys, his nephews, were heading back from fishing when everybody on the boat just decided to take a quick dip. And that is when the day took a turn for the terrifying. They'd planned a simple fishing trip off of North Carolina's Crystal Coast. 54-year-old Don White, accompanied by his two sons, 4 male family members, and a family friend, enjoying the day's final relaxing moments. Around 2 p.m., about 13 miles from shore, they decided to take a quick rinse in the ocean to cool off from blistering 92-degree heat. In the water less than a minute, Don felt something tear into his right leg. Assuming a shark had bitten him, he yelled for the group to get out of the water, first making sure his sons had reboarded safely. After discovering he was bleeding profusely, Don used his own strength to quickly heave himself onto the boat. It was then the group examined the water and saw what they described as a school of 4 to 6 sharks, 6 to 10 feet in length, lurking near the boat. Don's sons crafted a tourniquet out of t-shirts and rope to stem the bleeding and instantly headed back to shore.
Some of the things that need to be done were done by the folks on the boat. In my opinion, that probably helped the patient tremendously.
Paramedics were waiting at the dock and rushed Don to a nearby hospital to treat the nearly foot-long incision on his mangled calf, even pulling this shark tooth from the wound. The bite having hit less than an inch from a major artery. Doctors say Don is lucky to be alive. And joining us now from Columbia, South Carolina are Don White, his sons Donnie and Buck, his nephews Matt and Kyle White, cousin Trey, and Jay Harris, the captain of the boat, along with a family friend, Cameron Stiegel. Welcome to you all. Don, I know it happened in split seconds, but what was it like, that moment when that shark hit you?
Surreal, like a dream. Like this isn't happening. You know, at first it really scared me, but you know, the odd thing was I didn't feel pain. The whole time it was more, what are we going to do next? How are we going to get through this? You know, we're in a critical situation. We got young kids with us. Sort of like survival mode, I guess.
And we can see your right calf is now bandaged, but it was mangled by that shark. So once you're on the boat, in fact, everybody, all those kids, they were a real big help.
Absolutely. It was, you know, unscripted, but it was like it was scripted. We all worked well together. Jay, you know, got a tourniquet, got a belt put on me. The kids were wrapping towels and t-shirts on the cuts. There was actually 2 pretty good incisions on my right foot. Trey, the cousin, was driving the boat. You know, we all just worked really well together, and we tried to remain calm.
Buck, you're his son. You're 17 years old. You were the last one out of the water. What did you see?
Once we got up on the boat, we saw around 6 sharks, 8 to 10 feet. There was one that looked about 12 feet, but I'm sure it looks bigger, but they were huge sharks.
Buck, I know you didn't know exactly what had happened, but what was it like to see your father there on the boat, but having his right leg essentially a bloody mess?
It was the scariest moment of my life. Like, what was going through my mind is he okay? Did he hit an artery? Is he going to lose a limb? Is he going to lose his life? What's going to happen? We just all I knew is we needed to stop the bleeding and get it elevated and get back in so he can get medical attention.
Don, so everybody's really trying to get out of the water. Obviously, you know that you've been bit, perhaps not knowing how bad it is. What was your biggest concern, though, in those moments when you're heaving yourself onto the boat to assess the damage?
Yeah, when I think, like say, the initial shock, once I got in, we were trying to assess the situation. My biggest fear was that I have a bunch of young men with me, sons, cousins, nephews, and I was praying that, you know, I wouldn't have something. It's a little emotional. I just didn't want to have, you know, bleed out in front of these kids. All I could imagine was these boys seeing their father die.
Well, they did not witness that.
Fortunately, that did not happen. No.
Don, I do have to ask, next time you're out there fishing, are you going back in the water?
Never. Mark my words, no more swimming in the ocean. I like the salt water, I love the beach, love the coast, but we're going to limit our swimming to swimming pools and where we can see the bottom and not worry about things that could potentially harm us.
Again, Don White, your sons Donnie and Buck, nephews Matt and Kyle, cousin Trey, Jay Harris, captain of the boat, and a family friend Cameron Stiegel. Thank you all for being with us this morning. And Don White, we wish you the best of luck and a speedy recovery.
Thank you very much, and we will pass through.